Good morning, friends and familia. Today I've got a bunch of apples to process. Let me show you. So I was gifted these apples. Some of them are from my tree and they've been sitting in my pantry. So I'm gonna peel them, core them, and put them in this lemon water solution to keep them from getting brown. And we're gonna make applesauce today. Stay tuned. So some of these apples came from my trees. We planted trees about, 5 years ago. Maybe not 5 years. In 2018, we planted some apple trees, and we hadn't even moved onto the property yet. And this year, we got our first real crop of apples. It's still a young tree, so it's only going to get better. But they are Gala, and they are Honeycrisp apples. And then I had a tree on the property that's called a Liberty apple, and those are really good too. And then my friend Kathy gifted me a bunch of apples. I don't know what type they are, but in any case, this is more apples that I can keep up with. So I'm going to make applesauce and fill my pantry. Okay, so I've got all the apples peeled and cored, and it took 2 pots, and that I can either make into some apple cider vinegar or something, or I can just give it to the animals, which I think I'm gonna do. And then this is gonna be my applesauce, and those peels we could put to use too, but honestly, with everything going on, Christmas and all that, I doubt I'll get to that, so that'll probably go to the animals too. All right, so here we go. So before we get started, the first thing I need to do is clean this kitchen. It's got a lot going on there, and I'm gonna straighten it up and make it nice to, I can't stand working in a dirty kitchen. It needs work. So I'm gonna straighten up everything, get the dishes washed, put away, clean off the countertops, clean off my stove top that's got well, I need that canner, but put things away around it, and then we'll get started on making some applesauce. It's a little better. I got the bread maker put away. I still need that on the counter. That just is always there. And then I took out my jars. So these need to get cleaned and warmed up. And my apples are peeled, cored, and sliced and ready to go into the big pot. And then we'll put it in the canner. And look what I did here. Just want to show you guys. See this? This is tortilla dough that I made, but I used a little bit of my sourdough starter, put it in there, and it's been growing. It started out about that big, and it's just growing and growing and growing. That's so cool. But yeah, so I have tortilla dough ready to go, and my bread that I'm making in the oven, it wasn't rising, so we proofed it, and my oven has a proofing feature, and now it's looking nice and toasty, and it's growing. I think it was just too cold to grow. So now we're doing good. So that will happen later today. And then also later, I gotta go get eggs because I haven't collected eggs from my chickens in a few days. So I'm sure it's getting a little overloaded in there. Okay, but for right now, we're doing applesauce. Okay, so I added my apples into my pot. This is about 10 pounds, 9.5 ounces of apples, peeled and cored. Now the recipe that I'm looking at is from the home canning guide, USDA home canning guide, and it says here that you need that a bushel is about 48 pounds and yields 14 to 19 quarts. And there's an average of 3 pounds per quart. So I'm not gonna do quarts, I'm gonna do pints. So I think I'll get at least half a canner load of, or a little bit more than half a canner load of pints in my canner. So that's cool. We'll see what it comes down to. I'll keep you posted. Hang on. Okay, so while that's going, I'm gonna wash my jars and get them in the oven to warm up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this pan, I'm gonna load my jars that are there on my pan, and I'm gonna put them in the oven to keep warm while I'm making the applesauce. So here is the cool thing about making applesauce. It's super easy. It's just the apples and a little sugar. So it's like an 1/8 cup per quart, or per quart. So total, I'm gonna put, I like mine kind of on the sweet side. You don't have to put any sugar in it if you don't want to have sugar. If you're diabetic, don't put any sugar in it. I like cinnamon in mine. This recipe doesn't call for cinnamon, but I think I'm gonna put a little cinnamon in mine. I like cinnamon. So, and that's it. And then you're gonna, I'm not gonna pressure can these apples. It doesn't call for pressure canning. I am gonna use my pressure canner, but I'm not gonna put the little thingamabob on there to make it pressure can. I'm just gonna use it as a water bath canner. So that's it. A little sugar, it's like seasoned to taste the way you like it, and that's it. And I was curious about the browning of apples. You know how apples will get brown when they're exposed to air, they get oxidized. So I looked at another book. This is my complete book of home preserving. It's by Ball. And their recipe says to add 4 tablespoons of lemon juice and optional sugar. So I'm gonna add the lemon juice because I don't want it to look brownish in the jars. I want it to look nice and fresh. I am gonna do that. I might not add as much sugar. I'm gonna taste it first to see. But these are books that I have. If you're interested in learning how to can, I would really recommend this book, at least to get started with. It has recipes in it. I also have this I think was given to me by my mother-in-law. I was learning, the first thing she taught me how to can was tomatoes and strawberry jam. And then I ordered this book, which I already showed you, the USDA Complete Home Canning Guide. So if you're interested in learning how to can, I would recommend those books. Start with something simple, like applesauce. And tomatoes are easy too. If you wanted to can your own whole tomatoes and you find a bargain at the grocery store, or you're growing tomatoes, even better, it's even a bigger savings. So, we use tomatoes a lot in my cooking, stews, things like that. I have not yet learned how to make my own tomato sauce, but it's a goal. But my mother-in-law was a big time canner, and I was always impressed by that. So one year she came to visit us and we made strawberry jam. And another year she came and she taught me how to can whole tomatoes. And they were so easy. And so that kind of got me started. And everything else about sourdough making, about, just preserving things, I kind of learned on my own. And there's like a whole generation of people, younger people, even younger than I, that are wanting to learn these skills. It's a good skill to have. If you're interested in learning that kind of stuff, get a book and, just get some basic recipes and try it out. It's kind of fun. If you like preserving for your family or learning those kind of old ways, I do. And so give it a try. So I did lower the temperature on my fire because I don't want to scorch the bottom of the apples. So I'm turning frequently. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but I'm turning this frequently. So one of the things that I'm hoping will happen is my grandkids will one day be able to look back on this. And I think a couple of my grandgirlies are already interested in cooking, and They help me in canning, loading up the jars, and just real simple little things. But I'm trying to instill in them or just stimulate that curiosity. I like, can an old person learn new ways or old ways, or even older ways? Yeah, why not, right? And so I'm gonna try and pass this on. I record these things, I put them on my YouTube channel, and if nobody else watches them except my grandkids one day and they say, hey, Grandma taught about that, let's go and look, they'll have me there forever. Okay, so let's chuck the apples. Boiling away. Let's give them a little flip. I'm gonna put this phone down so I can flip the apples better. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, here's what it looks like. It's soft enough, so I'm gonna get my, what do you call this little tool? I can't even think right now. You know what it is, the musher thingy. And I'm gonna smash up the apples in there. I just thought about something. Ouch, be careful, that stuff spits. Turn that off for a minute. So, yeah, you know, I'm thinking, whatever you know how to do as a grandparent or a parent, I'm thinking about grandparents right now because I'm a grandparent. Teach it to your kids. My husband knows how to operate machinery. He used to be a heavy equipment operator. We have a tractor here. We're teaching our grandkids how to operate a tractor. Teach them those skills, you guys. They need them. There's so many young boys that don't know how to fix things, how to run, how to use tools, we got to pass that on to our kids, right? So we should be teaching our kids these things. So that's why I kind of do this, is because I want my grandkids to know how to do this. They don't have to do it, but if they want to, it's there. And we should be teaching our kids, our grandkids, these things, you know? I remember my husband teaching my daughter how to change a tire, just in case, you know, she didn't find a husband who doesn't know how to do those things. But there's a whole generation of kids that don't know how to use tools. They don't know how to operate machinery. So, I mean, come on. Let's teach our grandkids the skills. If you know how to do something, pass it on. Pass that cool stuff along. They'll be able to keep it with them even when you're gone. So this is looking pretty good. I think there's a seed in there, but we'll have to clean those out. But anyway, it looks pretty good. Look at the consistency. There we go. Ooh, whoops. Okay, so you can run this through a sieve to make it real smooth if you like yours smooth. I do like some chunks, but not that big. I might have to get in there some more and break down the bigger. See, that's a big slice right there of apple. I'm gonna have to break that down more. But the consistency is applesaucey. Just the way I like it. Okay, I'm gonna put you. My canning lids are. All right, so. It yielded me 8, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 10, right? 3, 6, 9, 10 jars. Exactly what I put out, 10 jars. So cool. Okay, so we're gonna clean the lids, the tops, so that they'll have a good seal. Put the new lids on them, which are right here, in the water, and we're gonna load them up in the canner. The things I forgot to mention is we have to debubble it. just in case there's any air bubbles in there. Now this is pretty thick, so I'm just gonna give it a stir. And hopefully if there's any air bubbles, it'll come to the top. But it looks pretty good. All right, so that's the next step before you put those lids on. And I'll probably clean it again over the top just because I messed with the jar. All right. So I cleaned the tops, and now I'm just gonna put these on. This is so good, you guys. Tastes delicious. Tastes really good. I wish I would have gotten more. I might have to go buy more apples, just so I can make applesauce. Find some. I picked the right amount of lids, the right amount of everything, and it worked perfectly. So this is water bath canning that we're doing. So the water needs to go above the jars, about an inch or two above the jars, and we're gonna get this lid on it. Again, I'm not doing the pressure canning. Otherwise, I would put this on. If I was gonna pressure can, it would seal it, but it doesn't need to be pressure canned because we put the lemon juice in there, so it's acidic enough. And yeah, so here we go. Okay, and then one thing I forgot to mention is the book does say we're gonna process it. Once it comes to a boil, we're gonna start our timer for 20 minutes, okay? All right, so I'm out here in the chicken yard. I'm gonna grab those eggs. I think I have a treat for them, but I don't. I'm just here to collect, girls. It's starting to rain a little bit. Well, hello. How are you? Oh, good. Missy Brown. That is Miss Lilybet. That is Raider, and that is Lucy. So after 2 days of not picking up, this is just one area. This is, they like to come and lay on the hay and lay their eggs. So I'm gonna grab those. That was just in that little corner. I found some hiding. Now we're gonna go up here, and here, and here, and there. And they got so full, they decided to just lay them anywhere, so I gotta pick all that up. Okay. Okay, so there we have it, 10 jars of applesauce. It came out great. It was really tasty, and I will be doing this again. I enjoyed that. All right, guys, so if you like this video, like and subscribe, and let me know what you think, and let me know if you try it.